I'm not drinking outside again with them because I was quiet. I was like, clearly y'all are hurting. And then one guy, it was like the uppity white half doing the most. One guy was Swedish, and he suddenly, like, it was very odd, right? He just kept jumping at a chance to be sarcastic or shady. And then he said he's a social media manager. He goes, yeah, I'm so glad I'm not seeking the attention myself. I just abuse the attention seekers after I had revealed that, like, I do social media. Because it always comes up, oh, you've been traveling since January, how? Like, and I don't want to lie about certain stuff, or, sometimes I don't feel like doing a story. He's like, I'm glad I just abuse the attention seekers. There comes that social media shade. And then he randomly, out of nowhere, I was like, what's the crazy? I was just making conversation. I was like, what's the craziest thing you ever, like, did while traveling? I'm thinking he's gonna be like skydiving, parasailing. He starts unloading the craziest trauma on me, y'all. Like, heavy fucked up shit. I was like, oh. He's like, yeah, this happened and this, and I'm gonna protect his privacy, but he said some shit. He's like, either you grow from it and that and the third, but it really messed me up. And I was sitting there, I was like, on one hand, I don't know what it is about my nature and energy that people feel comfortable. I've had a lot of people just approach me and start telling me traumas. Maybe they need somebody to talk to. But then to be like shady and just shifty after that, it's just you see the contrast? Like, I don't think being around people is supposed to be that exhausting and mentally taxing at all. Okay, I really just don't think that's how it's supposed to be. I shouldn't leave hanging out with you and be tired. Half the group was vibing, the other half was doing way too much. And unfortunately, I think there's some people who think they're like ever so brilliant, but they're just as ignorant as the ignorant things and people they talk about, honestly, and they form their own stereotypes and shitty opinions too. Like, I really think they think they're like the shit, but your whole energy and aura is just conveying that, like, you're no better. The way y'all joke is weird. The butt of your jokes are where people are from in their countries, so they're not even funny. They're just stereotypes that you're running with. Like, what, y'all? And then you could tell people were offended. Like, and it's the fact that we're that lit, and he turned down the music to hear my answers about how I felt about the war. I was like, straight up, it sounds bad, but I'm not educated enough to speak on that. And he had this like, no, we gonna talk about it. I was like, no, I didn't come out here to get lit with y'all and talk about these traumatic ass, dark ass. What? I know it's off season in Budva, but right now, if it wasn't, we'd be at a bar, we'd be at a club, not sitting here talking about. I'm not saying we can't have deep conversations, and we did. We had some good ones, but I realized and it was crazy how it was divided. It was like kind of like half and half, and the white people were on one side and the other people of color were on the. So I realized in the morning, and I could tell they're all like, most of them are volunteers at the hostel, so they're actually used to each other. But I can tell like people were offended, and other people were not being sensitive enough. And I understand some people just have really like blunt and brash personalities. I understand that there's like dry UK humor and all that stuff. It was none of that. Y'all, it was none of that. Anyways, I'm sitting on a park bench right now. Ooh, thighs are dying. Oh my gosh. I'm about to go to the grocery store. Yeah, but it's just a shame. Like, I really think you are more ignorant trying to do the most, showing that you are intelligent. But if you're bashing other people, like, they were all Brazilian, they kept going in, and it was just so critical. I had that issue with my ex, and I have it with some people, where people are just constantly critical and nitpicking to the point where you don't even want to speak, because anything you say, they're going to be like, well, actually, this and that, or give you like a history lesson, or like try to downsize you or make you feel weird. I'm like, huh? And then everybody, the ones that got hurt, cause I know they got hurt, they got their feelings hurt. The ones that got hurt was trying to do it back. At one point, like, people was trying to go to bed, and one was like, that one drunk person that don't want to go home, that don't want to go to bed. Shawty was like, no, I go to bed right now, I'm gonna vomit everywhere. I'm like, girl, that's a personal problem. But we stayed out there to vibe. And then she said something. We were talking about age, and I was like, I'm 27. And the one guy, he was doing the most. One guy, he's like, you have pretty teeth. And I was like, thanks. But I said it with no emotion, because I was like, I don't like you. Then he was like, oh, you look younger, when I said I was 27. Right? And then the one shawty was trying to be like, yeah, because the old person has to go to bed. But she's in her mid-30s. So maybe it was like an ironic joke, because she knew she was the oldest, so she joked about it. I was like, I don't know y'all. I don't owe y'all my company. Y'all kind of suck. Some of y'all, half of y'all kind of suck. Like, what? Half of y'all kind of suck, and I don't owe y'all my company. And this is probably why I didn't come downstairs yesterday, because the vibe was weird. Vibe was weird. Like, so then it turned into like a, I know people roast each other too, but I don't be vibing with that. It wasn't a roast. It was just straight up like, yo. So, I don't know. It was weird. Yeah, it was really weird. I'm about to go to the store though. I honestly don't want to talk about it anymore because it was embarrassing on behalf of others. Okay, y'all, so I did end up hanging out with some of the others in the group, like individually or as like smaller groups, and it ended up being a vibe. Shawty, who was making the age jokes, ended up being really cool. We would go to the beach in one of these vlogs. Some of us, a smaller group, went to a boxing match, so I just singled out the people I wasn't vibing with and I stopped interacting with them. Some people thrive off negative attention and they want other people around to make them feel small or to put them down, and I didn't like the fact that the dude was clowning some people and then they would try to turn around and clown other people, like a pick your battle type of thing. But I'm gonna be quiet and mind my business because this is not my battle to fight. I'll see y'all.